Welcome back to Daily Update. Jungkook's apology was supposed to end the tension, but instead, it opened the door to an emotional moment that neither of them seemed prepared for. After finally speaking to Taehyung, Jungkook appeared to expect a simple response. Maybe forgiveness, maybe silence. But Taehyung's reaction was completely different. He listened quietly. For several moments, neither of them said anything. Then Taehyung finally spoke. His words weren't angry or dramatic. Somehow, that made them even more powerful. Jungkook suddenly went silent, as if Taehyung's words had touched something much deeper than he expected. So what exactly did Taehyung say that left Jungkook speechless? The apology had already been difficult for Jungkook. He had finally said what he needed to say, but instead of feeling relieved, he seemed even more uncertain about what would happen next. Taehyung didn't interrupt him. He simply listened, and that silence made the moment heavier. Because when someone is angry, you usually know where you stand. But when someone becomes completely quiet, you start wondering what is happening inside their mind. Eventually, Taehyung responded. It wasn't a harsh reaction. There was no accusation and no dramatic confrontation. His response was calm, and that seemed to affect Jungkook even more. Within this fictional narrative, fans began interpreting the moment in different ways. Some believed Jungkook was simply trying to clear the air. Others wondered whether his apology was connected to something more personal. Then people started questioning Taehyung's reaction. Why did he accept the apology so quietly? Why didn't he demand more explanations? And why did he seem more concerned about Jungkook's feelings than about the argument itself? Because forgiveness doesn't always mean forgetting. Sometimes, accepting an apology simply means choosing understanding over conflict. And that seemed to be what Taehyung was doing. But then came the moment that changed. Everything. Taehyung reportedly said something that made Jungkook completely freeze. Jungkook had expected judgment. Instead, he received understanding. According to the fictional story, Taehyung seemed to understand that Jungkook was blaming himself far more than anyone else was blaming him, and that changed the meaning of the apology. Maybe Taehyung wasn't waiting for another apology. Maybe he simply wanted Jungkook to stop punishing himself. That possibility made the silence between them even more emotional. Jungkook had nothing to say. No explanation. No defense. Just silence. Sometimes, the most powerful response to an apology isn't "I forgive you." Sometimes it's "You don't have to keep hurting yourself just to make things right." And that was the statement that reportedly left Jungkook speechless. The moment also created a debate among fans. Some described Taehyung's reaction as mature and compassionate. Others argued that fans were reading too much into every pause, expression, and word, and that distinction is important. Within this fictional narrative, the emotional meaning may feel powerful, but nobody can actually know what Jungkook or Taehyung privately thought without their own confirmation. Still, one detail continued to attract attention: Jungkook's silence. Why had he suddenly stopped responding? Why did Taehyung's words affect him so strongly? Was Taehyung saying exactly what Jungkook secretly needed to hear? The story became even more emotional when Taehyung reportedly made it clear that accepting an apology didn't mean pretending nothing had happened. Forgiveness and forgetting are not the same thing. You can forgive someone and still remember what happened. You can accept an apology and still need time. And you can care deeply about someone without agreeing with everything they do. Finally, Taehyung reportedly told Jungkook that if he truly wanted to make things right, he didn't need to keep looking backward. He needed to move forward. That simple message appeared to change Jungkook's expression completely. He seemed to realize that Taehyung wasn't asking for another apology. He wasn't asking for another explanation. He was simply telling Jungkook to stop punishing himself, and that was why Jungkook reportedly had no immediate answer. The apology had started with one person saying sorry, but it ended with both of them confronting something much deeper. And one question still remained: what exactly had Jungkook been so afraid Taehyung would never forgive? That unanswered question is what made the fictional moment so emotional. For more BTS updates, emotional stories, and fan discussions, stay connected with Daily Update.